Welcome to How Preschool Teachers Do It.
This is Alison Kentos. I am an early childhood educator.
And this is Cindy Tarabush. I am an early childhood consultant.
This podcast is for parents and early childhood professionals.
Let our experience and research-based knowledge become your guide. Hey, preschool peeps.
Hi, peeps.
Welcome back. We are talking about being proud today. And being proud of not just the big achievements, but also the little things.
Yes.
When children understand what to be proud of, because we express this to them, they better understand what to continue or do in the future. So we're actually going to start this episode with one of the quotes we promised you that I think leads nicely into this topic.
Yes. All right. And the quote is, "No one rises to low expectations."
No one rises to low expectations. I think that's, if anyone knows, they can correct me, but I think that is by Les Brown. I could be wrong. No one rises to low expectations. We need to help children to continually reset the bar on what is really great behavior, actions, good things to do. And so we need to express to them what makes people proud so that they can learn to internalize some of that pride. And you had some great examples earlier, Alison, of when people tend to express pride.
Yeah, it's usually when something great happens, right? Your child scores a football touchdown, their soccer team wins, they get all A's or good grades, they're the lead in the play. You know, it's usually things that are like, I don't know, achievements or like the obvious things that you would be proud of, right? And I feel like sometimes that's the only time that children will hear from their parents or their teachers that, "Oh, I'm so proud of you. You scored the winning touchdown. I'm so proud of you. You got the lead in the play. I'm so proud of you because you got good grades. I'm so proud of you because you got into a good college," whatever it might be. But are you really, shouldn't you be saying it for all the little things too? Because say you're a child that never achieves any of those things, then are you ever hearing that your parent or your teacher is proud of you? You know, and sometimes for me, somebody with a lot of anxiety, just showing up is a lot. That is an achievement in itself. For me to actually get somewhere sometimes with all the social anxiety that I sometimes have, me being there is something to be proud of. Like, hey, I showed up. Okay, like I am here. I might not score the touchdown. I might not do anything, but just being here is an accomplishment. Okay, and so like when your child's soccer team loses, I feel like you should still say, "I'm so proud of you because you tried so hard. I'm so proud of you because you're a team player." You know, your team might have lost, but you still did really good things. And seeing all the little things that happened during that game, or what went into just being in the background of a play or getting a C, might be something, "I'm still proud of you because you worked hard."
You know, when we think about the really young children, like programs will do, Star of the Week, Student of the Month. What else goes on in the preschool?
Or like at graduation, sometimes they give out awards, like, and they have different themed awards, that kind of thing.
So there are these big moments, right? There are these big moments. There are some children who do have fewer of those big moments than others, but I don't even think that matters. I think if you take out all those big moments and you put them aside, there are so many little things happening all the time where we can look at children and say, "That was great. You should be really proud of that." And I like to phrase it that way, Alison. I like to tell children, "You should be really proud of that." Because whether I'm proud or not,
it shouldn't matter.
Is sometimes inconsequential, right? We don't want
them to internalize it.
Right. We don't want children to grow up thinking, "I need to make those people proud." We want children to grow up thinking, "I need to do things that I'm proud of myself for having done." Right. So if we say to them, I appreciate the way you pushed in the chair. You should be really proud of yourself that you thought to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe that will inspire the children to think about, how can I help my community a little
Right.
more? Maybe I can pick up the crayons, and maybe I can, right? So I think we want to be careful how we phrase it to them. But I think you're 100% right. So much of that attention, that sort of attention,
Yeah.
gets focused on the really big
The
things.
big things. Yeah.
And then what happens to those children who they do the athletics, or they do the play, or they think that that's their worth, right?
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
only important or someone to be proud of when I'm the star of the play, or I'm the student of the week, or I'm,
Yes.
that's the only time there's
And then,
ever anything to be proud of.
yeah. And then when, say, something doesn't happen, say you're not the star quarterback next week, or you get injured. Look at all those college students, they
Yes.
get injured and they're expecting a professional team. And now they don't know what to do with their lives because their whole life was thrown into, like, I am a football player and that's what I do,
Yes.
And when it's taken away for whatever the reason, that could cause huge mental health issues, right? Because you're like, wow, the only thing that people are proud of me is now gone,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and like, there eventually life kind of changes and moves on. Like if you're getting good grades at school, that's awesome, that's wonderful, but eventually you're not going to be in school anymore. So, like, you might identify yourself as, like, I'm a good student and I'm proud of that. And yes, you should be proud if you are a good student. What happens when you're not a student anymore? Because eventually you're not going to be
Exactly.
a student anymore.
You know what
I mean?
happens? You become a perfectionist at work, whatever you do. You become
Yes,
What
and then you
happens
become,
is
but then
you're
it's, I'm a
consistently
good
looking for
worker.
the A.
Yes, you're consistently looking for the acknowledgement at work,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
if somebody at work isn't saying, "Hey, Allison, you did a great job on that project. You did a great lesson plan. You did this, you did that," then you're like, "Oh, I must be a horrible worker because nobody acknowledged that I'm doing good." You constantly need to be acknowledged. Whereas, like Cindy's saying, like, if I can internalize it and be like, no, I'm proud of myself because I did that work. I don't need to tell anybody that I did a good job. I just know I did a good job. Then maybe it's a little different. Maybe it's, but you're also not gonna get sad or depressed or something when somebody doesn't say, "Hey, good job."
Look, little things happen all the time.
Yeah.
These big things only happen occasionally.
Right.
Little things happen all the time. So if we can teach children to notice the little good things that they do, and to feel proud of themselves, then they'll have things to feel proud of all the time. Maybe I'm not, I don't know, maybe I didn't get the promotion and that's disappointing, but I know that I'm a valuable member of this team at work because I'm able to, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think we all need other things to hang on to.
Yeah, I'm still proud of the work I did, even though I didn't get the promotion. I still know
because I have this
work.
particular, because I have this particular talent or this particular way of doing things.
Right.
I may not have gotten the promotion, let's say, but I know that I am valued for my interpersonal skills and then how I get along with other people. At least I have that. And that can still be very disappointing to not get the promotion or the raise when you're an adult. But if you're hearing from the time that you're really, really young, that these little things you do for other people, for the community, for self-help skills, independent skills, these little things you do, that they all add up.
Yes.
I think that that's a really important message for children to have, that we all of us have these little pockets of things we do all day long that we can be very proud of, even when the chips are down and even when things aren't going our way, we still have all that.
Right. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think it helps children identify their talents.
Yeah.
As Allison said, not everyone's an athlete. Not everyone is going to be star of the play. Not everyone's going to be the child, even in our preschool classes, who gets up at large group time and wants to talk and perform for everybody.
Yes.
Not everybody is that child.
Yeah.
Every child has to know that there's things about themselves to be proud of, and it's those little things that matter.
Yeah. Right.
It's all about the small stuff when it comes to positivity.
Yeah, it's all the small stuff, right? Yeah.
What do they say? Don't they always say not to sweat the little things? Is that
Don't
the
sweat
saying?
the small stuff. Yeah.
Don't sweat the small stuff. I'm going to tell you, not only don't sweat the small stuff,
Yeah.
but notice it,
Yeah.
acknowledge it, don't
Yeah.
sweat it.
Yeah.
Notice the other small stuff. So when they say don't sweat the small stuff, they're talking about problems.
The little itty bitty stresses of life. Yeah.
Right,
Don't like,
right,
right? Yeah.
right. They're talking
Yeah.
about dilemmas. What I'm
Yeah.
saying is there are other small things. There's really good small things
Yes.
that often go unacknowledged.
Yeah. And I feel like once you start noticing those small things, even as an adult, right? Like they say, oh, you should be showing the little gratitudes all day long. Your life will
Yes.
like suddenly be different when you start noticing the small things and being proud of those small things. Your life's outlook, is that right? Will change to a more positive outlook
Yeah.
rather than always sweating these small stresses, right? Or always having to be the overachiever, because that's quite stressful. That's a lot of
I,
stress on these children to constantly be like, I have to keep working hard and getting the A's or being the lead in the play because that's the only time some adult is proud of me. That's a lot of stress. That shows like,
yeah.
oh, just me being me, the little me is not enough, right? And it is enough.
They say in gratitude practices that we should all sit at the end of each day
Yeah.
and what 3 good things happened today that I should be grateful for, right?
Yeah.
That we should have these reflections.
Right.
Here's what I want to challenge you all to do, our preschool peeps. Here's what I want to challenge you to do, because I think that it will teach you how little this was done with us, the noticing these small things.
Yeah.
So at the end of every day, I want you to think about 3 things that you did that you should be super proud of.
Yeah.
Not only grateful for, which is different, right? That's a
Right.
gratitude practice.
Something you
This
should
is
be
a pride
proud of.
practice.
Yeah.
3 things that you did, accomplished, managed to get through that you should be proud of that day. And I think when you do this, you're going to discover I have not spent a lot of time thinking about what happens in my day that I should be proud of. When we do that ourselves, when we do that self-reflection ourselves, it helps us to see how we can support children better.
Yeah.
Because for me, like, I'll have moments where I realize I've never paid enough attention to the little things I do that
Yeah.
I should be proud of, that other people appreciate, that help the community. I just do these things and I
You
don't
just
think
do.
about it,
Right.
right? When we sit and we have to come up with these 3 things every day, we'll realize,
Yeah.
okay, when I work with young children, I want to point out these small moments of grace or these small moments of generosity, these small moments of just simply doing the right thing, doing something for yourself, caring for
Yeah.
yourself and for other people. I want to point out these small things to children so that they grow up with this sort of mindset that will have them end their day and think, what did I do today that was good, valuable, and I should be
Right.
proud of?
Right. Because I think when you start doing that exercise of these 3 things that you're proud of at the end of the day, you're going to realize like it is usually the little things because not big things don't happen every day.
That's right.
Big accomplishments do not happen on the daily. So like your pride at the end of the day might be like, hey, I showed up today. I got through a day of work when I was really tired, or
Yeah, that's something to be proud of.
sometimes
I
that's
got through the
all I
day of
am
work
proud
and
of
I
is
was
like, wow,
not feeling
yeah,
it. Yep.
I made it through the day when or I helped a person at the grocery store. That's something to
Yes.
be proud of, I took my mother for her eye surgery. That is something I should be proud of. Like, even though it's little, and at the time it seems like okay, I'm just doing these chores, whatever but really you should be proud of those kind of things. These things that are just day-to-day things that sometimes you don't even think of it, but it's a lot to get through, or maybe you are thinking of it, but you're thinking of it as a more negative thing. You're like, oh, I got to go do this meeting again. Oh my goodness. Like, or something, when really at the end, you should be like, hey, I went to the meeting and I contributed to that. That's something to be proud of. Even if you were dreading it, you still contributed, or you participated, or you really showed up. I think there's a quote that says half of success is just showing up.
Yeah,
And I think
true.
that's true. I
It's
think
true.
it's true.
It would be a fun exercise with children? It's a great open-ended question to
Yeah.
sit with the children who you work with or are raising and look at them and say, what great thing did you do today at the end of the day for your
That's
like
a
end of
good
the
one.
day
Yeah.
large group, right?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
great thing did you do today? What did you
Yeah.
do that you thought was really terrific?
Yeah.
And teach them this sort of reflective practice. And then affirm, when they say, I put the crayons in the holder. Well, that's great. You
Yeah.
should be very proud of that.
And I think it shows you what their thinking is. Like the stuff that
Yeah, because you don't know.
you don't know, right? You don't know
Yeah.
what they're going to be proud of.
Yeah.
And things are going to surprise you. And then when it's your time to like acknowledge this, to say that you're proud of them, now like, oh, they're really proud when they put things away. I would have never
Yes.
thought that. So
Yes.
now I know to, so like it kind of gives you a little insight into what their mind is thinking. That's a good one, Cindy. That's really good.
Yeah, thanks. So here's what we're focusing on.
Yeah.
I think I challenge you all to think about 3 things you did today that you should be really proud of every day.
Every day.
And grateful for, but those are 2 different things.
2 different things, yeah.
Have conversations with the children about the small things, not just the big giant accomplishments. Yeah. Notice the small things and help them to realize who they are and what value they bring to the world by doing that. And so that they can internalize feeling pride in themselves.
Yes.
And it's not dependent on outside people, and it's not dependent on the big things.
Yeah.
And have these questions ask them these questions, have conversations with them where you say things like, what did you do that was great? Tell me something you did that was wonderful and great and you should be so proud of. And let them tell you.
Yeah. Let them tell you, because it might be something totally different.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'll bet it's something totally different.
Great. Yeah. And the conversations are going to be awesome, I think, because I think even the children could start showing how proud they are of their fellow classmates, not just you showing pride.
Yes.
I think it'll start this like waterfall effect of like, now everybody's proud of everyone, which is what we should be doing, right? Like we should be encouraging and grateful and proud.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, preschool peeps. So we challenge you to do all that and let us know how it goes. You can go to howpreschoolteachersdoit.com and send us a contact form. You can find us on Facebook, the How Preschool Teachers Do It Facebook page. Please reach out to us. We love to hear from you. Love hearing from our listeners. Yeah. So we hope that you will do that. And we will catch you next time on the podcast.
Bye, peeps.